Hello and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am the Crushinator, and tonight it's more Division C East. We've got 2Calculated2Throw versus Heavy Slaps here on this Wednesday night matchup. Hope everyone's having a good evening tonight, ready to catch some excellent Heroes of the Storm. Well, we've got a moment. We'll do map bans. 2Calculated2Throw, banning out Towers of Doom and Sky Temple. Heavy Slaps, banning Braxis Holdout and 2 of the Spider Queen. And Heavy Slaps won the coin flip and chose map pick. They're going to be bringing us to Infernal Shrines here for map number 1. So giving up the first pick opportunity in order to bring us to Shrines. Makes me wonder if they've got some sort of secret strat to bring out here. But before we can get going, we've got a request. Summon Jin from J-Hut. Luckily, he's right here. A good time on the ground, and then I picked you up. Isn't life hard? Isn't life hard? We've got 9 in our lobby right now, so we've got a minute. What's that thing? It's my mic. Look everything off my desk. Tired, buddy. Tired. Huh. I think he's getting ready for a nap. Alright, looks like we've got 10 players in our lobby. I'm sure it's all the players I expected here. Got Fear, Gravant, Kobo, Hoth and Scooterman. We got Crazy Butte, still a Soak, Imbuement, Mindcry, and Chooser. Lovely. Alright, we got one ready. We'll give him the caster ready. And we'll get into game number 1. Looking forward to it here. Heavy Slaps is on a big win streak. They're 14-2 on maps so far this season, heading into this round 8 matchup. We'll see if 2Calculated2Throw are the team to dethrone them. I think the joke on Twitter that an 88% chance to win, if you've ever played XCOM before, misses quite often. But we'll see how it goes here. Looks like we've got all the readies coming out, so we'll be jumping into this draft in just a moment. What'll be interesting to see is we had a patch this week. Big patch came on through. Well, I wouldn't say big patch. There were some minor adjustments. There were some heroes tweaked that we didn't see coming. I'm interested to see whether those heroes pop up, if there's any difference in the draft priority here with these two teams. If we see ETC, if we see Maiev, if we see Zarya, some of these heroes that got touched. Or if teams are just happy with how they're playing, like we're getting later into the season. People develop habits. What can I say? Alright, I've had several readies. Many readies have been thrown out. Let's get a draft. Let's do a draft! The button. I dare you. Oh, this always happens. How you doing, Simeon? Do we have a lobby bug? The host forgot they were the host. Every single time. All 10 people are sitting there going, someone should really press that button. What are we sitting around here for? Oh dear. Alright, we've got a 3, 2, 1 countdown. And we're gonna hit the start game button. Let's do it right now. Alright, we're going into Infernal Shrines here for game number 1. We got there. Yes! Yes, we finally did it. 2Calculated2Throw will be first pick, first ban here. So the big changes We had a Brightwing change that some people are saying is a buff, some people are saying it's a nerf. Seems like Brightwing is just going to be as powerful in a draft as ever. As far as I can tell, it doesn't really change the playstyles an awful lot. Stukov, once again, got some changes to some underpicked talents, which people are saying are like really, really good. So Stukov might be as good, if not better, than before. Unless you were just 100% relying on max range reactive Ballistospores combos. Samuro going to be the opening band, followed up by Asmodan here. So, I mean, in terms of draft priority, Vala kind of got hit again, but Vala was already starting to fall out of those early pick positions, so I don't expect that to be a big deal. I think kind of the X factor here is probably Maiev. If you've got a Maiev player on your team or someone who's, trying to practice Maiev, that, getting 2 charges of Vault of the Wardens at level 20 is kind of a big deal. Like, that's a big tool in those late-game team fights, and to all of a sudden have 2 of them, that's big. So it'll be interesting to see if anyone's got a Maiev up their sleeve tonight, as we see Hogger and Junkrat going to be banned out. First pick going over to 2Calculated2Throw here. They've got their run-of-the-mill on healers if they want to pick one of those up early. Sylvanas is open. That's another great first pick. That sort of remains a great first pick. Very flexible. Very unique in the ability to turn off those structures. If you're going to open things up with a Johanna, though, going with the Comfort Tank here for 2Calculated2Throw. Heavy slaps. They're going to grab up that Sylvanas. Mind Cry locking that in. Will we see an Anubarak come out here? That's, that's kind of like just the big 1-2 punch that has been doing a lot of work in drafts. It's going to be the Diva, though. Delesso going with the Diva, not wanting to get that banned out in the mid-ban. Diva's become a little bit less of an all-purpose offlaner since the last nerfs, but still very powerful on Infernal Shrines due to that bomb placement, just clearing out the objective, getting a big lead on those minions. Cawthon going with the Sonya to try to counter here. Sonya does put a lot of extra damage onto Diva in lane. And Scooterman going with the Raynor. Old Jimmy Raynor. Going to be holding it down on the back line here for 2Calculated2Throw. So, heavy slaps. They're looking at, they could ban a healer, but they don't have their own yet. We'll see if they want to choke that option out. Okay, they're going to remove the Malfurion. Malfurion can definitely cause Diva some problems. If you've got Sonya pressuring down the Diva mech, and then the Entangling Roots comes out from Malfurion. It doesn't even matter if it hits the Diva mech. The pilot counts as a different body, so Diva mech or Diva pilot will get rooted again. So that's it's a pretty big deal when it comes to healer counters for Diva. 2Calculated2Throw going to remove the Brightwing, so going to further clamp down on those healer choices. So Heavy Slaps will have first crack at healer here if they want it. Stukov's still up. Deckard's still up in terms of zone control here. There's that Stukov. Crazy Butte's going to lock in the Admiral. How you doing, Himibo? How you doing, Junda? Ooh, an Arthas coming out from Imbuement. Interesting. Arthas going to be able to slow Sonya's attack speed if they go in. If you can catch up to Raynor, you can slow that attack speed. Interested to see whether it's going to be a Rhyme build. Himibo coming in with the Prime subscription. Thank you so much. Enjoy your emotes. And, yeah, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Last 2 picks here for 2Calculated2Throw, coming in with the Chromie and the White Mane. Prevent on the White Mane here. Kobo going with the Chromie. It's a lot of damage coming out from Chromie Raynor. Not a ton of CC, though. Johanna going to be able to gather people up. Chromie going to be able to apply the slows, but there's not a ton of extra CC on the side of 2Calculated2Throw here. So it could be They're definitely not going to be locking people down to blow them up, but maybe that backline of Raynor and Chromie will just be enough poke to secure these points. Well, there's the Maiev. Schuzer is going to take the newly buffed Maiev here for heavy slaps. So looks like they're going to be trying to engage with that Maiev, pull people into that Arthas range. Thank you so much, Himnibo. I appreciate the kind words. Alrighty, everyone's sticking with their picks for the what I can tell. Fantastic. Good stuff. Is that acting funny? Hold on a second. There it is. My mouse is acting strangely. Well, let's get in the game and see if my mouse is going to be alright.
Prepare for combat.
Nope, that's not it. Nope.
The crusade
Nope.
brought me here.
Nope, that's not good. Alright, let's go with it for now. I think it's Control 1. Yeah, alrighty. On the left in the blue, we have Gravent on the white main. Scooterman on Raynor. Kobo is on the Chromie. Cawthon playing the Sonya. And Fear is on Johanna. On the right in the red, we have Heavy Slap. Still a Soak on the Diva. Crazy Buttes is on the Stukov. Schuzer playing the Maiev. Imbuement on Arthas. And... what am I missing? Mindcry on the Sylvanas. For some reason, my mouse software is not working properly, which means a lot of my keybinds are wrong. Fantastic. We'll figure it out as we go. As the lanes are going to collapse here, looks like Heavy Slap's not going to really contest the mid-wave clear for now, which means that's going to go directly over to 2Calculated2Throw very quickly here. Take that little thing off the screen here. As I try to boot up my Corsair mouse software, and it's not working. Oh, goodness gracious. Alright, guess I'm scrolling with the middle mouse wheel instead of my normal button today. Rotations being caught up fairly quickly there by Heavy Slaps. We'll see who's going to be aggressive on denying these. Fear going to step forward there and dismount Imbuement. His shoes are going in there, looking for an Umbral Bind, but won't quite find it there onto Scooterman. The camps are going to start up here. One quick tab out. Let me try one more time to get that open. I'd really love to have my mouse profiles back. Right side camp going to be picked up there by Heavy Slaps, but 2Calculated2Throw. They're on the bottom camp here. Scooterman going to go ahead and finish that off. It is Exterminator for Raynor, so going to be helping out with the PvE aspect of the game for 2Calculated2Throw here, as we see them headed over to the left side camp. IQ isn't opening at all is a problem. Alright, that's just going to be the game today. I'll have a stressed out pointer finger as I try to push down my scroll wheel all game. If you're going to be knocked back there, Maiev thinking about moving in to engage, but too much healing and too much under towers there. Kobo could be a little bit caught out here. Schuzer on the edge is trying to cut them off. Chromie is going to move out in lane. Arthas is going to start to apply the slows. Nice time trap, but this looks like it's going to be it for poor Chromie. First blood goes over to Heavy Slaps. Very nicely done there. 2Calculated2Throw going to head up to their Shaman camp, get that timing going right away here. As the tanks will go ahead and duel in that bottom bush. Diva heading back to the right side Shaman camp to get that started up here for Heavy Slaps. That will take Diva a little while, but it will allow De La Soak to build up that bomb charge to get it ready for the first objective. Looks like 2Calculated2Throw. They're going to be here right on time, though. They got their Shaman camp out. They're going to be able to click the shrine right away. Great macro start here. Here comes Heavy Slaps, though. They're a little bit behind. They're going to be down a couple minions here, but we'll see if they can bully their way onto the point. Chromie just throwing that sand onto the back line, trying to push Stukov away. Prevent going to be pulled back, but there's Fear with the peels. Delesso going to be able to drop off that mech, but in a tough spot. Only gets a couple of minion hits there. So 2 calculated to throw, still well ahead on this objective soak. See if they can get their way back onto the point and keep on clearing here. Cawthon going to be rooted inside the silent zone briefly. Sonya going to try to spin to get away. Going to do so effectively as Imbuement and Mindcry pretty low here. Kobo going to step up and try to put a little bit of damage onto the backline once again. Delesso will be caught in the time trap. Shoes are pretty low as well. Maiev, remember, has no innate health regeneration. So once Maev's low, Maev's either got to get healed or Maev's got to get gone. Punisher going to go over to 2 calculated to throw here with a strong start. Arthas going to go ahead and bait this over the wall with 75 armor and basically take no damage. Pretty good, pretty good. Objective sieging down this mid fort. Going to get the next jump out there onto Arthas. And there it goes. Easy first fort there for 2 calculated to throw. Looking pretty good. Cawthon going to go ahead and start up the bottom camp here for 2 calculated to throw. Looks like the rest of the team might be looking for an ill-advised rotation. Delesso is actually going to encounter all 4 of them in the bush here. Imbuement looking for a route, going to find it onto 2, trying to catch up to get those slows. But the unstoppable Johanna has the steed charge to try to get away here. There is Maiev getting the pull back, but it's looking like 2 calculated to throw are starting to stabilize. You see that slowing sands is starting to do work here. D.Va forced to throw out the mech in order to survive. But no one picked up on that engage. Mindcry and Crazy Butte's going to try to start this up. See on the left side, same thing happening here for 2 calculated to throw. Fear are on the way. They're going to see Arthas. Not going to catch him with the Condemn, but they are going to be able to just step up and clear this camp, no problem. Well on their way to 10 here. Very nicely done. Maiev still safely by the wall as the rotation from blue came on down. See how much work they can do. They're about to have their level 10s, so they can play a little bit boldly. Shoes are going to go out and find the Umbral Bind. Gets 1 pull against the gate. Nice job by Scooterman, able to barely get away from that Root Silence combination. 10s are out here, 2 calculated to throw, going with the Leap, Slowing Sands, Rainer's Raider, Whitemane, and Johanna going with the Scarlet Aegis, and their Divine Reckoning, I should say, and the Falling Sword. Heavy slaps, they've got the Warden's Cage, Flailing Swipe, Micro Missiles, Mind Control, and Arthas still considering whether it's going to be that Syndragosa or the zombie army. Schuser could be a little bit caught out here. Johanna going to gather him up, but nice vault and Echo to get away there. Arthas still sitting on ult here. We'll see whether it's going to be the... I can't remember what the zombie's actual name is. Johanna able to get away from that Umbral Bind. Legion of Northrend, I think? Maybe that's the level 20 talent. Another nice vault there from Schuser to get away from trouble. Could be Arthas is just holding that to see whether they win the next objective or not. If it, if they win it, they go Syndragosa and try to push hard. If not, maybe just go for the Army of the Dead, that's what it is. Army of the Dead there. Teams are back on their shaman camps once again. No, easy peasy, no problem. Shrine is activating. Fear in position. Will be spotted by Imbuement. Uh-oh, Fear in a little bit of trouble. Has to pop the Unstoppable, but will still be caught in the Arthas route briefly. Mind Control coming out there onto the Sonya, but the Unstoppable Leap sends Cawthon right through the cage. That's a lot of ults down. Mind Control is down. Warden's Cage is down. Whitemane ult. Sonya ult. Falling Sword went out there as well. Right now, Heavy Slaps do have control of this point. Arthas still holding that ult. Illasok going to be able to drop off the bomb, but it's pushed away by Scooterman. And look at that, kiting the minions away from the explosion. Really, really cool play coming on out there from 2Calculated2Throw. Try to stay in the race here on this objective. Slowing Sands comes on out a little bit more forward as Schuser warping through, gets a quick Umbral Bind there. Illasok not going to have another bomb charge, but is going to go ahead and flank along the outside. Arthas is actually going to go down here. Chromie with the long shots will get the kill. Fear has the steed charge to try to escape. Johanna is low, but will escapes. Stukov almost had the hit there on that low blow. 36 minions. This should go over to 2Calculated2Throw here. There it is. Next objective will land, and we do see it is that Army of the Dead for Arthas. Frozen Punisher down here in the bottom lane will jump onto Schuser. Maiev, Maiev almost got hit with that, with the edge of that root there. That could have been big trouble. But structure will be turned off as the Punisher's next jump comes on out here. 2Calculated2Throw are just going to go ahead and focus down this structure. And they have their first two structures of the game. And now D.Va and Sonya just off double soaking. See 2Calculated2Throw going to go on the tour to camps once again. Sonya taking the back camp solo. Scooterman going to go ahead and hit this, but the rest of Heavy Slaps is on the way here. Chromie does have the ward up there. They could try to invade here. Johanna's on the way, but Sonya's turning around. They could definitely try. Kobo, Kobo going to be caught there by Imbuement. Mind Control comes out onto Raynor. This is big trouble here for 2Calculated2Throw. Scooterman trying to get out here. Nice Falling Sword is going to land onto Imbuement on the edge. Mindcry very, very low. Look at Scooterman chase. One more auto attack. There it is. The penetrating round will secure the kill. 2Calculated2Throw, now 3 kills to 1, are going to get back onto their macro grind. They're well on their way to having a sizable level 16 advantage if they can keep this up. Illasok was actually going to eat a full Chromie combo there in the end. Holy cow. Nice timeout there by Kobo to deny the counter engage, but D.Va will get back into the mech, and it's like the damage never even happened. The siege is going to continue here in the mid. You see Raynor inspiring the camps to fire faster and faster. Schuser going for the full combo. Warden's Cage is coming to come on out, but there is Whitemane with the counter ult, keeping everyone extremely healthy on the side of 2Calculated2Throw. Fear continuing to move up there, slow people down. Imbuement is low. One more auto. Fear is going in way deep, and Arthas is going to go down, but it's going to be a trade out for Johanna. The wall falls here. 2Calculated2Throw have their level 16s. It's going to be a slow siege coming on out. Too Grady has been called in the chat. Yep. If you don't have the Falling Sword to at least get out, then you're in big trouble. 2Calculated2Throw going for the aggressive camp take here. We've got a player who has disconnected. Oh, but it seems like they're back. Prevent is back in here. The 2Calculated2Throw is not going to continue to pursue their aggressive camp steal without their tank. Instead, moving back to their own side. Tanks are on the field. Arthas and Johanna are back. See what the rotations are like. Heavy Slaps has their 16s. Our next objective is in the mid. It is going to be an Arcane Punisher going down the mid lane. It's Kobo trying to get a little damage on D.Va. Shrine activating in a couple seconds here. Looks like Fear is first on the scene, but Schuser in the area. Oh, Fear moving way forward is actually going to catch 2 in that bush. Pulled back with the Umbral Bind, going to force out the Iron Skin early here. Cawthon moves into lane. Shrine hasn't been touched just yet. Fear is going to go ahead and start that up, though. The 5v5 will commence here. Fear moves forward. We see the Slowing Sands going to be quickly canceled. 2Calculated to throw. Working here on the edge. D.Va almost has bomb charge. Going to try to get a couple more autos on these minions on the side. Schuser looking for Kobo here. There's the Umbral Bind. Going to pull Chromie into position. Mind Control not going to hit, though. There is the Falling Sword. Going to force Crazy Buttes to back up. Oak is actually being shredded here by Scooterman. Gets the mech explosion off. Cawthon is going to eat that hit. But Sonya's still very, very healthy, able to keep on trucking here. Leap into the back line. Big combo onto Stukov, and that is going to be the first kill in this fight. Imbuement and Oak also very low. Arthas is going to be the next to go down here. D.Va is pulled out of the mech. Mindcry low. There is Sylvanas. Oak. Oh, Kobo took the 50% and guessed wrong there. D.Va Pilot going to be able to get away. This Arcane Punisher, once again, the objective going over to 2Calculated to throw. Cawthon going ahead and starting up the mid siege camp just to get a little bit of extra pressure behind this push. This could be a push for game here. Sylvanas is still dead for 15 seconds. There's the stun coming on out onto Schuser. Are they going to chase down Maiev? The warp to get away. Falling Sword comes on out. Johanna wants this kill. It's going to land. One more hit. No, Crazy Buttes is up in time. But look at the core. The core shielding is already getting so low. This Punisher is extremely healthy here. Soak is going to get punished. Oh my goodness, the core falling so fast. 2Calculated to throw with the game-ending push are going to pick up the first win of this series. GG. Very, very nicely done. Let's update that score. 2Calculated to throw is on the board. I get it? I did. Fantastic. Alrighty. Really, really nicely done. Just a textbook example of how to get ahead and stay ahead on Infernal Shrines, and they're going to hand Heavy Slaps just their third map loss of this season. Kobo on the Chromie, top hero damage there, followed closely by Raynor and Sonya, though, just over 40,000. Oak on the D.Va, sweeping the stats there for Heavy Slaps, almost 110,000 on the Siege, almost 42,000 on the hero damage, and top minion Soak. Top self-healing, too, while we're at it. I'm Coco Jamba, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the show. Take a quick look at the talents here. See if we can set up for game number 2. Alrighty. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a short break. I'm going to see if I can fix my mouse. I don't know what happened, but my profiles are all messed up. So, we're going to be going to a short break as Kairu comes in with the raid of 37 people. Just in time. We're still getting set up for game number 2. Don't go far. Don't go far. I will be right back, okay? I'm going to go to a short break. Alrighty, welcome back. We're setting up here for game number 2 of 2Calculated to Throw versus Heavy Slaps. Once again, Kairu, thank you so much for the raid, bringing all the folks coming on over. If you're stuck behind the 10-minute follower mode chat block, I apologize about that. But as a reminder for everybody, Twitch put out new moderation stuff today. A lot of it around phone verification on your account, so I was able to take off the normal everybody 10-minute followers mode and apply it just to people who either had a brand new account or didn't have a phone verified. So pretty cool. But yeah, we got to be careful with all these bots out there. So yeah, Mr. Executive, thank you so much for the follow. Looking forward to seeing you in chat in a little bit. Thank you all for coming over. I am the Crushinator. I do a lot of Heroes of the Storm casting either here or over on twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. So yeah, make sure you come out and check me out. I'm usually casting at least Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and sometimes even a Friday or Saturday or two, depending on the week. So make sure you check me out then. All right, we're setting up here. We've got 9 out of 10 players in our lobby, and we are going to be going to Battlefield of Eternity here for game number 2. Looks like we have a personnel switch over on the side of Heavy Slaps. Looks like X-Havoc going to be coming on in for Mindcry, I should say. We're just waiting on one player to come on back to the lobby, and then we'll be able to do game number 2. This is, was a pretty big upset there in game number 1. 2Calculated2Throw. Let me see if I can look at the points here. They're currently 7th seed, sitting on 10 points, or 10 points in the standings. Heavy Slaps on 19 points. We're 14-2 on maps coming into this game, now 14-3. So pretty, Heavy Slap's going to have to come back, win 2 in a row if they want to take this series. 2Calculated2Throw, only 1 match away from victory here. Still waiting on our 10th player. We've lost them in the ether. Lost them in the ether, but they should be along soon enough. It's a pretty quick game there, game number 1. I mean, we didn't even really get to level 20. We just kind of marched down the lanes and got it done. It was fantastic. Really, really well played there by 2Calculated2Throw. I was a little worried about the lack of CC in their comp. They pretty much had just Johanna in that setup, but the Rainer Chromie damage turned out to be plenty. Sonya did a lot of damage as well. Cawthon doing a great job of going in and disrupting that leap, providing that just a little bit of extra CC to engage onto a target and get them down. Fantastic play. Heavy Slaps just couldn't find a way onto those objective points safely. All right, we have our 10th player. I'll give him the caster ready, and we'll be able to fire it up. Hopefully the host will remember that they are indeed the host of the lobby and remember to press the button. Such as it is, such as it is. Yeah, X-Havoc gonna be coming in for Mind Cry here on the side of Heavy Slaps here for game number 2. Just waiting on one more. All set. See if Fear remembers to start the game this time. We're razzing him now. Alright. Getting into our next draft. Battlefield of Eternity. Could see Maiev again. Feel like it's somewhat less likely, but Maiev can make it, can make an appearance here. Does a little bit of wave clear. It can work. It can work. But let's do it. Let's see what they do. Game number 2. Once again, 2Calculated2Throw will be first pick. So Heavy Slaps going with the map choice here on Battlefield of Eternity. So when given the option now, Heavy Slaps has gone with map choice twice. Not something you see out from an awful lot of teams. We saw a Samuro ban by 2Calculated2Throw in the first one. Samuro is kind of like an older tech here on Battlefield of Eternity. Like back when it was a lot of, when the meta was like you wanted to just sit and delay and let your side soakers push out the lanes if you thought you had the macro advantage in that way. Samuro was really, really good at that. We are going to see the ban once again. 2Calculated2Throw just do not want to see that hero. I find that's just not really the way the map is played anymore. There's not a lot of delay tactics that people tend to do on Battlefield of Eternity. It's just sort of a, it's a sort of a dive session. Like you get your chores done and you try to position and move in, but neither team really sits back and defends. They're both sort of looking for opportunities to invade, is how I've been seeing this map played for the last little while now on these patches. So I feel like Samuro doesn't really lend to that strategy, but if you've got just a great Samuro on your team, it's pretty crazy in a lot of situations, so I understand the ban. Sonya will hit the ban list here, and Hogger once again will be taken out by 2Calculated2Throw. If I'm Heavy Slaps right now, okay, they're going to take out the Chromie. I was thinking maybe push Scooterman off the Rainer here. That could be a first pick for 2Calculated2Throw. They went with the Johanna first pick last time. It is open. But honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Scooterman just reprise the role on Rainer right now. Worked out pretty well in game number 1. See what they think. All right, sticking with the plan. Fear back onto the Johanna first pick position. Heavy slaps. We saw an early Sylvanas last time. I think Sylvanas can, you know, still do some decent work here on battlefield. A little bit less helpful in the defense, but just a great all-rounder. Hard to go wrong with the Sylvanas. We're going to try out Hanzo this time. And Bumet actually going with the Hanzo here. And Crazy Butte on the Brightwing. So either some draft trickery or a possible role switch here. We might be seeing X-Havoc go onto the tank spot and Imbuement moving on to damage. 2Calculated2Throw. Kobo going with the Li Ming this time as Chromie was banned away. And Scooterman does end up being able to pick up the Rainer. So right now, 2Calculated2Throw. A similar sort of setup. Very light on CC, but very high on poke damage. Rainer with some great sustain poke from quite a distance. Li Ming obviously with the super long range burst. 2Calculated2Throw are just kind of building the comp they had before. Heavy Slap's going to go with that Anduin ban, not wanting to see the combo engage with Johanna. 2Calculated2Throw. They've got the Li Ming, they've got the Rainer. You can see Hanzo on the other side. Honestly, I might be worried about a Lunara. I mean, Rainer's pretty good into Lunara, but Lunara's pretty good into Li Ming, in my opinion. You get good poke damage onto Johanna as well. Let's see what they think. They're going to remove a Nubarak. A Nubarak does do a lot for just putting extra stuff on the field to interrupt or intercept Li Ming's abilities. So I do understand that choice. Telesoke is going to go with the Rexar this time. That off lane. And it is X-Havoc going to be on the tank going with the Mei here for Heavy Slaps. So Mei Brightwing, a pretty tough shield to penetrate. So Hanzo should feel pretty safe back there. I wonder if we're going to see another sort of fragile high damage hero coming out of Schuzer, considering this front line that Heavy Slaps has built. 2Calculated2Throw. They need the off lane, they need the healer. It's going to be Malfurion Blaze here from Cawthon and Gravette. So a lot more control in the off lane here and in the healer position coming out from 2Calculated2Throw this time. Blaze, great zone control, great area stun. Malfurion able to follow up on that CC that Johanna's putting down. Schuzer is going to go ahead and pick up that Junkrat that made it all the way to the end, though. So two very long-range poke heroes. Even longer range than the Rainer and the Li Ming with the Hanzo Junkrat here. On the side of Heavy Slaps. So this, I have a feeling this might end up being a pretty low-kill game. It depends a lot on how these comps are played. But like Hanzo Junkrat are just throwing darts from afar. Li Ming and Rainer just throwing darts from afar. You've got Mei and Johanna as your engage tanks. Neither one of them are particularly snappy or particularly good at moving past the front line. I think this is going to be a heavy positioning battle. It'll be interesting to see. Let's find out how it goes. How do I keep doing that? Alrighty. On the left in the blue, we have 2Calculated2Throw. Fear is on the Johanna. Kobo on Li Ming. Scooterman on the Rainer. Gravette on Malfurion. And we've got Cawthon on the Blaze. This feels so nice to have my mouse working correctly. On the right in the red, we have Heavy Slaps. X-Havoc is on Mei. Imbuement is on the Hanzo. Schuzer playing Junkrat. Crazy Buttes is on the Brightwing. And Telesoke is on the Rexar. Forgot to do the prediction last game. We've got the prediction running this time. If you want to throw out some bananas, see if you can win. Prediction is up in the chat. Make sure you go and check it out. Was this always this high? I think it was. The first game, my mouse, the sensitivity was lower than it should have been, so I felt like I was dragging the mouse all the way around the mat there. Now it's where it should be, and it feels too high. Oh, what a disaster. What a disaster. But just the poke is in. Both teams just clearing the lanes. Imbuement getting a couple of stacks there on that scatter arrow quest. Johanna going to be looking for globes, but those are the only quests that remain to be seen here. See, the Unstoppable from Fear will last the duration over that blizzard. Wave clear will commence. Junkrat actually heading up to the top lane here. Shuzer is going to be picking up this camp solo. Cawthon not really going to be able to move past Rexar here. Looks like 2Calculated2Throw are not going to notice the absence until just now. As roots come on out, May is going to be hit. Brightwing coming on in with the save, though. Havoc is going to be fine. Junkrat on the way down. Ooh, Kobo taking a big hit there. Imbuement with a nice little damage combo. But Junkrat's back in lane, so nice pickup there by Heavy Slaps. They're picking up a camp for free, and they're able to contest bot lane as well. Havoc moving forward. Scooterman actually going to be caught here, frozen in the back. Oh, great scatter arrow from Hanzo, and Rainer will fall as first blood. What a reposition and a scatter there from Junkrat and Hanzo. So both camps are going to be going over to Heavy Slaps here. That will get them a quick level 4. We're past the 2-minute mark, so these teams are going to be starting to think about their Shaman camps. Havoc actually going back to base to get the mana pool a-rolling. Prevent pushed out of position there is going to take a little bit of poke, but we'll be able to move back fairly safely. Two minutes 30 seconds till Immortals. Looks like Heavy Slaps is starting to move on back to their camp here. 2Calculated2Throw. Doing the same thing. The macro has been pretty tight from these teams so far this series. Game number 1, they were on top of the camp timings, both sides, making sure to pick up what they could at the correct times. This game, no different. Heavy Slaps did get ahead with that double siege camp play. But the Shaman camps are coming out exactly on time. And it looks like Heavy Slaps are going to be in position to poke this down first. And Fear coming in with the flank. Will be polymorphed on the edge, so Imbuement able to move away there. Yeah, Hanzo and Junkrat not super afraid of Johanna before level 10. Both of them can sort of step up and do pretty much whatever they want here. You gotta watch out for those bombs, though. Kobo throwing in that big triumvirate orb. Getting that quick reset there. Rainer is actually headed up to the top lane, going to try to soak a little bit. Nice root onto 2. Crazy Buttes has the cleanse. Not before the stun comes on out here. Fear a little bit low, has to pop the Unstoppable. Havoc getting low as well. As Rainer, oh, actually taken down in the top lane. Rexar soloing the Rainer. Havoc very, very low there. Big combo comes out onto Imbuement, but Hanzo able to move back to safety. And the poke is completed. Rexar able to finish up that halftime race there. Cawthon starting up the left side race. Imbuement stepping up to get those scatter shots in. Did go with the serrated arrows, so that's definitely going to help out in the race department. Big stun coming out onto Grevent, actually. Alfurion taking some hits. About 4,000 health shield on this first Immortal of the game. Fear moving on forward, does not have the Iron Skin anymore. Is Cawthon going to get hit on the edge? Imbuement hitting some big scatter arrows in these engagements. Sevid is in for Heavy Slaps, and they're going to be moving up to the top lane to help this push. Scooterman with that Exterminator, though. Just really dealing with this Immortal effectively. It gets the wall down, but that's all it's going to get here as it gets burned away. Kobo actually going full orb build right now, going with the Zay's Vengeance there on level 7. Usually, you know, I won't say usually, a lot of Li Mings like to go magic missiles here to get extra damage onto the Immortal. Lining it up with a Malfurion tends to work too because they're rooted for a significant amount of time and you can get that triple hit onto heroes. But, I mean, in this poke battle, Li Ming should be pretty free back there, and that orb build, when able to attack freely, is very, very high damage. So I understand the choice here. Kobo going for a slightly different style, going for definitely the PvP factor of Li Ming rather than the niche battlefield setup that you can go with Li Ming. Chooser moving up on the flank here, just setting up that trap. Did go with the Chattering Teeth and Big Az, so that's the sort of hyper zone control setup that Junkrat can provide you. Kobo once again just looking to lob in those orbs on the edge. Top camp is going to go over to heavy slaps. Rainer on the bottom side going to start this up, but Misha will spot it. X-Havoc looking for Johanna there, but the Iron Skin is enough to deny the engage. Buman taking another big chunk there. I wonder if Kobo is going to go full all in and just go with the glass cannon on 13. And just look for those one-shot kills versus Junkrat and Hanzo. They both have such small health bars that's like... Right now you see Hanzo taking like 85% damage from one orb. Maybe, you know, maybe glass cannon in this spot is the play. 10s are in. For the side of heavy slaps, we've got the Unleash the Boars, Riptire, Ice Wall, Dragon Strike here from Hanzo, not going with the arrow, and it is Blink Heal. So Buman continues to race here. 2 calculated to throw. We've got the Wave of Force, Bunker, Emerald Dream, Rainer's Raider, and Fear going with the Falling Sword. X-Havoc starting to move on back there. Cawthon was looking for a stun. Gonna force out the phase shift from Brightwing. And Buman on the back camp here. That is going to allow 2 calculated to throw to really catch up on this race, getting ahead very, very quickly. Rexar and Brightwing are looking for flanks right now. Ice Wall going to come on out and catch Johanna. Cawthon in a tough spot. Dragon Strike comes on out. It's going to be a long way for Scooterman to run, taking some big damage there on the edge. Grevent with a nice silence coming in as well. Delassoak doing a good job of zoning out Kobo here, trying to put Misha in the way of those big orbs. Misha going to be going down. Riptire comes out. Scooterman does survive, though, as Kobo just continues to lob in from the edge. But Heavy Slap's going to be able to jump up and get a lot of damage out onto this objective. Delassoak taking a big hit here. Havoc sent over the wall. X-Havoc chasing out Kobo there. There's a big hit by Cawthon. Delassoak trying to get away there. Under 70 health, but will survive. Fear is on the way. Is Fear going to hit the Falling Sword? No, it's still on cooldown. Objective is going to go over to Heavy Slaps. Delassoak is so low. Hanzo actually going to go down on the outside there. I didn't see the chase on the edge, but that's a very timely kill for 2 calculated to throw. Blaze is going to have to deal with the top lane push as that was going on the entire time. Kobo trying to clear this from safety. Rainer going to be able to clear this down very, very quickly once again here, but Heavy Slaps have been sort of like game number 1 where 2 calculated to throw was just in control the whole time. That's how I'm feeling about Heavy Slaps right now. They're not getting a ton done off this objective, these objectives, because it is Li Ming and Rainer just clearing them away, but so far there hasn't been an awful lot of doubt that they can just control the objective whenever they choose. Dragon Strike coming on out into the backline. Grevent, oh no, Grevent not able to sidestep. Kobo almost caught by the Dragon Strike as well, but one kill there for Heavy Slaps. And they're going to try to finish off this bottom fort. How you doing, Shy? Welcome back. Good to see you. Oh, that's nice to say. Thank you, thank you. Bottom camp once again going to be picked up here by Heavy Slaps. Let me take a look at the experience. Mercenary's actually pretty close. These, these top and bottom camps don't give it a lot of extra experience, but an extra 900, that's, it's pretty close to the difference in levels here. A little bit of extra minion soak, slight bit of extra hero damage, but it's those mercenaries that have the level 13 advantage that Heavy Slaps briefly enjoyed. Can go ahead and pick up this top camp as well. Bottom lane push is locked in, though. Raynor with Exterminator and Li Ming are going to make very, very quick work of this bottom wall. Trying to step up and get this last tower before the flank comes on in. Hanzo has the scatter. Oh, can actually pick it up here. Delasoak on the edge. X-Havoc coming out as well. There's the Unleash the Boars. Nice sleepy root coming on out from Malfurion. Ice Wall actually going to land here onto Grevent. Falling Sword is going to put the unstoppable. Grevent trying to get away here. Not enough healing. Malfurion is going to go down. Very nice pickup there by Heavy Slaps right before this Immortal spawns. Li Ming, it's the glass cannon. Going for that one-shot setup. I like the tech. Oh, caught on the edge, though, is Johanna. Very nicely keyed off of that Junkrat trap. Another very timely kill here for Heavy Slaps. Malfurion going to be back on the battlefield here, but now another 20 seconds without Johanna means that Schuzer and Imbuement. Oh, it's just going to be Imbuement. Okay, Schuzer going to move on up. Looks like they're going to try to push in this bottom Shaman camp while they can here. Without Johanna, the rest of the team has a little bit of difficulty stepping up. Bottom wall going to take some hits, but ultimately, Heavy Slaps is going to move back here. Imbuement going to go ahead and send this objective to the halftime show. Here we are. Fear going to get quickly stunned there. X-Havoc just saying that they know how. And now the defense is definitely in here for 2Calculated2Throw. You can't wait too long, because level 16 is definitely closer here for the side of Heavy Slaps. Get back camp is picked up. Scooterman locked on here on the top side. Misha doing a good job of staying in line here. Oh, Grevent is hit by the Ice Ball once again. There's the Dragon Strike coming on out, and Malfurion never had a chance. Another pickup there from Heavy Slaps. Very low is Misha, but will get the heals to survive. Bunker going to be popped by Cawthon as Blaze has to hit the jet propulsion to get on out of that stun. Kobo continuing to throw out combos there. Once the Arcane Orbit comes online at level 16, that's when the backline really has to be careful. You feel like you're out of range, and you just aren't when it comes to that setup. Uh-oh, Scooterman. Oh, very nicely sidestepped. That could have been big, big trouble there for Raynor. As it is, it's pretty big trouble for the side of 2Calculated2Throw. 22,000 health on this Immortal, and it's pushing down the bottom lane, which already has some good minion pressure building here. See what the gate defense can do. Fear is going to be discovered on the outside by X-Havoc. So no free flanks to be found. There's Iron Skin going to be forced out. Wall is starting to take significant damage here. Ice Wall comes on out, not going to catch anyone on the back line this time. Nice cutoff there onto Fear, going to force out the Unstoppable. Dragon Strike is going to push away Raynor here. Scooterman is going to survive for now. Grevent taking a big hit there in the back line. Another fantastic scatter arrow coming on out from Imbuement. Polymorph onto Cawthon is going to force out the Bunker. Grevent having to do the defensive Twilight Dream. Misha will be taken out here, but this Immortal definitely going to take down this keep. Cawthon on the edge is going to catch Imbuement, going to get hit with the root as well. That's actually going to cancel the trait. Imbuement has the movement speed. Oh my goodness, Kobo with a huge orb there, and there is the Arcane Orbit. These shots are going to be... These shots are becoming one here for Li Ming. Shoes are going to go ahead and start up the bottom camp here with Junkrat's insane, well, insane camp clear. That splashing auto attack and that splashing Q just making incredibly quick work of the camp here. It's like 2Calculated2Throw are going to start the top camp, but they might run into problems. X-Havoc is here. May. Oh, May, get on that point. You know you want to do it. Ice is in. Grevent could be in trouble here. He's going to get hit with the stun, but Cawthon on the outside has caught the two members X-Havoc and Crazy Buttes continue to fight on the point. There is the Dragon Strike. What a position! Li Ming is going to go down here. Li Ming first to fall in this scrap. Grevent trying to get away on the outside, but Deleuze Soak has the flank covered. Malfurion is next to go down. Heavy Slaps have now caught out Fear. Johanna going to be trying to walk away here. Raynor goes down in the top corridor. Koth and Harthing and Lane will manage to get out, but Fear, slowed down by that level 16 icing talent, will fall. That is 4 kills. And Heavy Slaps, they may be trying to just go and win the game. They've got the bottom lane pressure here. Here they come. Cawthon is going to have the jet propulsion interrupted, but it won't go on full cooldown. Buman with a nice scatter. 10 seconds till Malfurion. Li Ming is back now. That's the big core defender. If Kobo can find resets, that could be the core defense, but the shielding is already being peeled away. Nice stun there onto Blaze. Here comes Grevent. Iceball once again gonna catch the poor Malfurion. Core down to 70%. Here comes Scooterman. Johanna still up in 5 seconds. Li Ming is actually gonna go down here. Core at 40%. Heavy Slaps is moving on in, and they are gonna pick up the victory. Swinging back here on Battlefield of Eternity, going to 1-1 in this series. GG. Very nicely played. Another sort of one-sided affair there. Heavy Slaps had the macro advantage from the start. They snowballed that into a position on the objective, were able to get ahead in levels and move through the game with relative ease. Really nicely done. Looking at the stats here, Kobo on that Li Ming with the full orb build. Nearly 75,000 hero damage coming on out for 2Calculated2Throw. I think if that game didn't end there, and we got more fights in the mid, Li Ming might have got some big reset turnarounds, because that build had just barely come together. Oh, I didn't get the last. Imbuement on the Hanzo, 54,000 hero damage coming on out for Heavy Slaps. Those scatter arrows were really, really good. Nicely done. Let's do the prediction. There we go. Take a quick look at the talents here. And we'll set up for game 3. Update the scoreboard. Nicely, nicely done. Alrighty. So, what we are going to do is we're going to go to a short break while we wait for the next lobby. I'm going to refill my water, and we will be right back with game number 3, 2Calculated2Throw versus Heavy Slaps. Sit tight. Alrighty, welcome back. We're setting up for game number 3. We have a lobby. 2Calculated2Throw. Looking to close out here versus Heavy Slaps, who have come roaring back to even this up. 1-1. And we are going to Volskaya Foundry to decide it here. 2Calculated2Throw choosing the map. So each team, whenever they've had the choice, have chosen map now. Every time. All 3 maps. They've passed on first pick and chosen map 3 times. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Alright, we've got 10 players in the lobby. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. How are they going to approach it? Volskaya Foundry, a pretty different sort of map. You can't just really... It's pretty difficult to just sort of push down the lanes here. You got to do your chores. You got to worry about objective. There's not an awful lot helping you push down the lanes. There's just that one camp in the top lane. What's the setup going to be? Are we going to see some Asmodan stuff? Are we going to see Li Ming come on back? Maybe Deckard make an appearance? One can only hope. I did call for a Ragnaros today, as I do every day, because I want to see someone play Ragnaros. This is a good rag map. It is. I promise. I promise it's a good rag map, okay? You know, this map is a perfect Ragnaros Nazebo map. Because you don't need Rag to double soak, and you do need Nazebo to double soak. And this map is a perfect setup for that. Can't go wrong. Let's do it. Who's going to go to the ultra late game with me? That's what I want to see. Will they deliver? I don't know. I don't know. Count on it.
Industry.
That's what I want to see. Here we go, Volskaya Industries. It will be Heavy Slaps first pick, first ban here. Man, every time a cat is summoned to the stream, I get cat hair in my nose. Every freaking time. That's okay. It's worth it to show you all the excellence that is my cats. I just need to do something about the nose. Just, I hold them right here. It's the problem. It's right here. Cat's head. They just come out of there. I'm just like, oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Reset. Oopsie doopsie has been called. Someone was the wrong person captain? Yeah, wrong person was captain. It's important stuff. If someone is too stressed out to put in bans, that's awful. We'll give it a little reset. We'll try again here in a moment once the host reconnects to the game. And we'll give it a try once again. Luckily, we didn't have any bans or anything come on out. The chat does say fear has left the lobby, which is an interesting sentence. Alright. Just waiting on a reconnect. Unfortunately, you pretty much just have to Alt F4 the game in order to do that. Alright, we got our 10 back in the lobby. The captain's on the right spot. Let's give this another try, shall we? Let's give it another try. Readies are starting to come out. Okay, I think we're good. I dare you to press the button. I dare you to press start game. Alright, they're pressing start game. Why did I get that sound? Weird. Alright, let's go to the draft. Man, my filler talk game tonight is trash. Holy cow. I am not filling this downtime well. Alright. Third ban, take 2, Heavy Slaps. First ban, first pick. Gonna start out with the Chromie ban. Makes sense. You gotta be on the point. Chromie's are really good at point control. 2Calculated2Throw. They've been banning out the Samuro. They've been banning out the Hogger. I wonder if... I don't think Hogger can get easy infinite bounces on these points. Even if Hogger does get infinite bounces on these points, you don't, like, really have to stand in the way. So it's not a huge deal. I mean, Hogger's still just a great hero. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to go to a map with infinite bounces to get Hogger value. I'm just saying I don't think it's quite the same as something like an Infernal Shrines, where you're getting a ton of value just for moving around, hitting minions rather than heroes. Heavy Slap's going to take out that Sonya once again. Don't want to see Cawthon bring the noise on the Barbarian. 2Calculated2Throw. They've taken out Brightwing. Will they remove the Junkrat here? I feel like that would be prudent. Let's see what they think. There it goes. Junkrat traps would be a total nightmare here in Volskaya. I mean, they're a nightmare enough on most places, but on Volskaya, that sounds awful. Imbuement gonna lock in the Sylvanas here to start things off for Heavy Slaps. About as generic as it gets. 2Calculated2Throw. Will they take that Johanna? Will they take that Raynor? Just keep riding the wave here, or do they have something else up their sleeve? Shall see. It's under my desk. Jin's under my desk. Goodness gracious. Oh, Cawthon is actually going to go with the Hogger. And Fear going with the Johanna for a third straight game here. Heavy slaps. In the face of Hogger. Do you take a Tychus? Tychus Sylvanas is pretty good. At least I think. Into Johanna, slightly less good. But I think still pretty good. Anubarak Lucio will be the choice here. From X-Havoc and Crazy Butte, so gonna save that flex pick for a little bit later. Our first Lucio of the day. Surprised they didn't go with the Stukov. Maybe they want that extra speed boost. Maybe they're worried about extra CC coming out of 2Calculated2Throw here, and they want the high 5. Let's see what the ban is in the face of this. Gonna take out the Samuro. Okay. Heavy slaps. Looking at Hogger and Johanna here. Do you just take out the Rainer? I'd be a little... Yeah, I was thinking maybe I'd be a little bit worried about Cassia. Just with the late game scaling and all. They're going to take out the Vala. Vala has pretty similar scaling value. Though somewhat lessened since this week's patch. 2Calculated2Throw. They've been doing a lot of sort of high damage, low CC mages. They could go with that Li Ming again. They could go with that Rainer again. Just stick with what they're doing. Gonna go with something a little different here. They're going with the Rainer Jaina, the oldest of school combos. So that's a third Rainer here for Scooterman. Kobo has the Jaina. So now I really like to see Rainer go with that ace in the hole. Because that's why you go Rainer Jaina. It's just everyone is slowed all the time. By Johanna, by Jaina, and Rainer just gets procs off of everything all the time. De La Soak is going to go back to the Rexar, and Schuzer is going to flex a Zeratul here. Okay, Rainer Jaina, a little bit vulnerable in the backline. Rainer's got the healing and the armor, but Jaina, not a lot of defensive options versus the Zeratul, especially in the late game. Prevent on the last pick here. Right wing gone. That's a toughie. Right wing is one of the best answers to Zeratul. Gonna go with the Deckard. I was thinking like maybe you do something like an Uther and try to go with the cleanse and the extra armor to deal with it. Prevent on the Deckard. Looks like we got a switch here. Fear on the Hogger right now. Cawthon has moved on to Johanna. Interesting. Okay. I guess Cawthon not as confident on the Hogger pick. So Fear gonna go ahead and pick that up. Very cool. Alright, Heavy Slaps going with the super late game here with the Zeratul versus 2Calculated2Throw. They've got a pretty solid early going with the Jaina. We'll see if they can get ahead here or if Heavy Slaps will simply outscale them. Let's see. Let's do it. Game number 3. On the left in the blue, we have 2Calculated2Throw. Cawthon is on the Johanna. Fear on the Hogger. Kobo is on Jaina. Grevent on the Deckard. And Scooterman is on the Rainer. Stash Actual coming in with a party of 9. Thank you so much. We are starting game number 3. Hope you had a good series. On the right in the red, we have Heavy Slaps. Imbuement is on Sylvanas. Crazy Buttes is on Lucio. X-Havoc on the Anubarak. De La Soak is on Rexar. And Schuzer is on the Zeratul. Get that prediction going once again here. Bottom tower is going to be started. Anubarak is spawning those beetles to tank it. Zeratul trying to get a couple of dismounts up here, but will be driven back. Rexar wants this last hit. Imbuement will finish off the tower here. We'll see if they pay for it. Imbuement is going to get hit with the root. Misha Bear is going to go down, but that looks like it's going to be all. Imbuement manages to get away from the Condemn there. Prediction is up and running. If you want to bet some bananas, you think you know who's going to be the winner of this game, go ahead and gamble your money away. Gamble, gamble, gamble. Big action down here on the bottom lane. Looks like Johanna and Zeratul are going to be duking it out for now with the mid and top. As we have a quick pause coming on out, as I believe we have a little bit of lag. We shall see. Looks like we had a quick DC. Yep. Hogger was having a little bit of connection trouble. It looks like they are back. We'll see how quickly we can get back into the game here. Yeah, once again, thank you for coming on by, Raiders. We got one game left. This is game number 3. All right, looks like the readies are coming on out. Wait for the 3, 2, 1, and we'll hit the button. GG Spectrum Internet. That's how it goes. That is how it goes. The teams are very, very careful with the readies. Hey, Fear went down. Yeah, Hogger was just kind of caught out there, unable to move. Unfortunate, but that will be kill number 1 going on over to Heavy Slaps. And they're going to push down the bottom lane here. So Zeratul and Johanna continuing the double soak between top and mid. This Heavy Slaps is just going to use their superior push power to try to get work done here. So far, no focus on the camps. That's just going to be started up now between these two squads. A little too much action to be dealing with that. Johanna is going to be harassed here on the edges by Schuzer and Deles Soak. We'll see if we return any sort of normalcy here, or if Heavy Slaps is just going to go back to sieging the bottom lane. Honestly, I don't mind that plan. Looks like they are going to start here in the mid. Nice double impale coming on out, followed by the stun from Misha, but no damage in sight. Sylvanas in the bottom lane, Zeratul in the top lane. So they get some good CC chain. Looks real pretty. That's about all it's going to be. Fear taking some hits from the dagger. Misha charging on forward, but the Hog Wild will get Fear on back to safety. Schuzer moving on up, getting that cleave. Right now we see Heavy Slaps ahead in the soak. Almost 1,100 ahead in the minion soak there. Doing a great job in the early going here. That'll give them pretty large advantage on the path to level 7. Once again, bottom lane is the focus. The entire wall is down here. Fear is going to be dove on. That's going to be enough damage. Nice pushback from Lucio. Hogger's actually going to go down. The Black Arrows come on out, and uh-oh, we've got a quick disconnect from Deckard. But it looks like Grevent is back. This minion wave is really intent on finishing off the well before moving to the fort. Finally, they key onto this, and this fort will go down. Look at that. Heavy Slaps taking the bottom fort during the first objective. Cawthon and Scooterman on the point here. Deles Soak going to force Raynor to move back. Hogger heading on down to the bottom lane here. Heavy Slaps not really concerned with the objective for now. Both teams were a little late on their turret camps, so both those are not going to be available to take during this objective, as X-Havoc taking some big damage there on the outside. Kobo very low as well. Jaina trying to get out of trouble. Misha first to go down. Kobo couldn't quite get the potion in time and will fall as well. Heavy Slaps looking for Fear here. Oh, the unstoppable on Hogger. Just in time to deny that impale stun. Level 8 to 6 briefly here for Heavy Slaps. And now have control of this objective and are going to start counting it up. Schuzer continuing to push in those off lanes. Imbuement starting things up here with Crazy Buttes. Right now, we see Deles Soak and X-Havoc just holding the point. 2Calculated2Throw are going to start to move in. Zeratul still split pushing here, looking for level 9 for Heavy Slaps. We see Imbuement and Crazy Buttes just on this back turret camp. See if they can finish that up. There they go. Johanna going to be caught here as Cawthon hits the condemn. Has those rubies, though, to stay nice and healthy. X-Havoc going straight into the backline. Kobo in big trouble there. Jaina is going to go down. Misha is low, going to start to back off. Scooterman is being pushed out by Schuser there, but the trade is real. There it is. Raynor is chased down. We see Anubrak has taken the Protector. Heavy Slaps are going to have their level 10s, and they are off to a fantastic start here on Volskaya. Slam actually hitting the sidewall there, unfortunately. Just a little bit of a misclick, but the wall will go down regardless. Looks like they're going to move up to the top lane. Try to soften up the wall for point B. Hogger having to soak the bottom side, looking for level 10 here for 2Calculated2Throw. Protector trying to finish off this wall. Gets a quick slam onto Scooterman, but they're going to have to start moving back soon. They're going to go right in for this well. This could be trouble, and Nubrak and Rexar are going to pop out right at the wall here. They get neither the well nor the tower. We'll see if they can push up and finish those off. The stun train comes out onto Cawthon. Going to be just fine there. Scooterman actually put into the cocoon. Heavy Slaps does have their heroic abilities. They've got the Cocoon, Unleash the Boars, High Five, Might of the Nerazim, and the Mind Control. They're going to use those to bully their way onto this heal camp. For the side of 2Calculated2Throw, as Raynor in trouble in the top lane, Scooterman is kind of body blocked by everything, and that's Raynor going down. Heroic choices, Hortapult, Lord Nado, Blessed Shield, Water Elemental, and Raynor still considering, as once again we have a disconnect coming out from Fear. Hopefully they'll be able to get that resolved, but this seems to be a bit of a recurring issue here. We'll see what they can do to fix it up. See what they can do. Alright. Fear appears to be back, but, you know... It's been a consistent issue. We'll see if they're going to try to continue here, if they're going to try to do like a router reset or something like that. We'll just keep on watching for what the chat says. Now, it seems like our two players are back. They're just going to go ahead and check their ping. See if everything's okay to go. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. I gotta tell you, I'm looking forward to a nice sleep tonight. Holy cow. I'm going to bed too late this week. After this, I'm just going to hit the hay. Boom. Out like a light. That's the plan. Should be fun. Alright, we've got one team showing ready. See if blue is all set to go. Okay. Teams are ready. Waiting for the 3, 2, 1. There we go. Alrighty. We are back. We're going to hope for stable connections there on the side of 2Calculated2Throw, as X-Havoc taking a bit of a hit there. Mind Control actually going to go right into the back line against Grevent. Going to force out the Water Elemental from Jaina. The Human going to quickly take that down. Nice Lornado, though, is going to force Kobo out of the fight briefly. Grevent able to put out the big Dorito and get away. Misha taking the full blizzard there, but will be fine. Scooterman actually going to get hit there. Grevent trying to throw out the potions. Gets a couple of rubies on the ground. Misha going to go down here. Kobo in the back is being chased down by Schuser. Nicely done by Zeratul. What a dive. Onto the back line. Level 13 is about to come online here for heavy slaps. See Hogger continuing to have a couple of connection issues. Unfortunate to be sure. So that's 3 structures down here for heavy slaps here at the 8-minute mark. Really, really far ahead considering how most Volskaya games tend to go. So taking advantage of their early gains and stretching those into structures. What can I say? Very nicely done. 2Calculated2Throw, looking to counter a bit of that top lane pressure. Turret camp not available to be taken, so we'll see them just move up and look for their level 13s. Fear on the bottom side of the map is just going to let these waves move on up, be a little bit easier to clear. Zeratul just poking in with that Singularity Spike. Next Protector is unlocking here. Telesok is trying to clear the top lane push. They've got their own siege camp to help that out as well. Hogger's still showing in the bottom lane here. Needs to find level 13 for 2Calculated2Throw if they have any chance at a fair fight here. But here comes the side flank. Shoes are moving on in. Kobo going to take some big hits. Big Impale coming on out from Anubrak. X-Havoc trying to move forward, and Jaina is going to go down. Raynor down as well. That's all the damage of 2Calculated2Throw taken out here. Prevent, Fear, and Coffin on the retreat. We'll see if they can be sent out. X-Havoc going to find the double stun onto Fear. Dropping the turret there. Fear in some big trouble. The Hornipole not coming out in time. Coffin is caught by Misha. It's a quad kill there for heavy slaps. They've still got the siege camp pushing on through, and they're just going to keep on going. Black arrows are going to connect from Sylvanas, turn off this whole structure. And they're just going to push on through. Raynor and Jaina are back to try to help defend here. Hogger and Johanna hot on their heels. We have a brief 4-level lead. Heavy slaps is way out ahead now, as Hogger continuing to have those connection issues. Kind of unfortunate. I hate it when games have to go this way. But we'll just play it out, and it'll be what it is. Camp Invade coming on out here. Mind Control going to connect onto Hogger. Fear going to be stunned and taken down. Jaina taken out in the back. Shuzer continuing to be a pest on that Zeratul. Prevent was hit with the Cocoon and will go down. Another triple kill here for heavy slaps. We're going to be pushing out the bottom lane here. Yeah, just an unfortunate situation. We'll see heavy slaps just go ahead and push on forward. Looks like they're going to be... You know, it's tough, right? Like, it's... The sportsman-like thing to do in my eyes is just go forward and end basically as quickly as possible, which we see them doing here. Coffin and Scooterman are just going to go ahead and go up the top lane. They're just going to go ahead and push out the bot. Taking out that keep. Yeah, solid 4-level lead now.
Hero slain.
They're going to back off for the moment. I would have liked to see them just go ahead and core, but I understand in this competitive situation it's a little bit strange. Gobo caught on the edge there. Ult's going to come out, and that's going to be it for Jaina. Siege Camp going to be picked up. And we're just going to go ahead and ride this out.
The prodigal hero returns.
Rexar going to take the point here as the rest of the team going to push through the mid. Just taking down the structures as they can. Imbuement just hanging out in the area, empowering this camp as Scooterman trying to clear it away. Yeah, they're just going to move forward. X-Havoc and Shoes are moving on up. And they're just going to go ahead and end the game right now. Pretty unfortunate situation. Unfortunate, you know, these things tend to happen. Luckily for me, it hasn't happened a whole lot this season. Maybe one other game. I know it happened a couple times last season. But sometimes the tech just doesn't work out. Heavy Slap's going to pick up the victory here and the series in game number 3. GG. An unfortunate ending, but 2Calculated2Throw hand Heavy Slaps their third map loss of the season there in game number 1. Before an unfortunate end, but congratulations to Heavy Slaps. They pick up their 2 points, and they will be in a very strong position to keep their number 1 seed going into the playoffs here. Yeah, not a whole lot to analyze here. If you're interested in the talent builds, there they are. But we'll see if we can get an interview with Heavy Slaps regardless. Update the scoreboard. And we'll see if we have an interview.
Howdy ho.
Hey, hey. Congratulations, such as it is, on the 2-1.
Yeah. Hots
Fortunate
seems
ending
to be
there.
giving the poor man troubles.
Unfortunate ending, but if we just focus on the 2 games at the start, we had quite the series there. Back and forth there on Infernal Shrines. Yeah, 2Calculated2Throw, handing you just your 3rd map loss of the whole season there in game number 1. Was it, just, warm-up problems? Did you feel like there was a problem with the draft, or did 2Calculated2Throw just play a great game there?
I think it's I think it's a little bit of those latter 2 points you mentioned. Definitely, we normally have some pretty solid drafts, but we definitely we kind of got a little experimental there with something we'd been practicing in scrims, and they absolutely crushed us for it with their superior draft and how they played it. Try as we may, we just couldn't crack the Chromie.
Okay. We saw the Maiev last pick come on out. Maiev did get a little bit of a buff this week, got the level 20 upgrade. Was that sort of the thought, see how the new Maiev behaves?
Yeah, something like that. Schuser kind of plays everything, and we'd been experimenting with a sort of Stukov, Arthas, Maiev, kind of like a walking earthquake sort of deal. But Joe
Okay.
really did a fantastic job separating our backline from where we actually wanted our melees to get in and do some damage. And my diva got the heck punished out of her with Kothon's Sonya. So I
Ah,
couldn't do much
yes.
either. Could just never get those nukes up where I needed them.
Yeah, it was yeah, I mean it was a cool draft style. It's like Arthas is a tank that tends to lack a hard engage. Maiev can engage that way. I liked the combo, but like you said, just didn't quite pull together there in game number 1. Moving into game 2, Battlefield of Eternity looking pretty strong sort of from start to finish there. Did you go back to sort of a more tried and true strategy there and were able to just sort of push ahead? What was the game plan behind the super long range of the Hanzo Junkrat setup?
Yeah, we're happy to have Imbuement back from a break, and he plays Hanzo now and then, and Battlefield of Eternity is kind of our forte for a couple seasons running. And then we realized that Junkrat was open in the draft, and we kind of just plugged that into what we had, and it worked. It was certainly a lot of scary damage coming out of that Ming. I don't know how many orb resets she got, but it was
Yeah.
probably in the double digits at least.
Well, it was like the way I saw it in draft is it looked like it was just going to be a total turtle position battle. Like you've got the Rainer Li Ming trying to poke past on one side, the Hanzo Junkrat trying to poke past on the other. And were you surprised at all that Li Ming ended up going orb built there?
I was a little bit. I guess they kind of just adapted with how many resets they were getting on the bear and on our May. and just kind of doubled down into it. I think there was a glass cannon, if I'm not
Oh
mistaken,
yeah,
too.
it
So
was the full deal. Glass Cannon, Arcane Orbit got picked up. The game ended pretty soon after that, but I was waiting for just 100-0 on Junkrat at some point, but it never seemed to come. There's just
yeah,
too many bears in the way, too many tanks in the way, and able to shut that down.
pretty much just clogging it up. I had to respect Koth and Sonya, and once that was out of the way, it was a little bit easier.
Absolutely. Well, pretty solid victory there in game number 2. Unfortunately, game number 3 plagued by connection problems, but it seemed like before those started, he still had a pretty good handle on the situation there on Volskaya. Not too much to touch on there, but the win is yours. 2-1 victory in week number 8 here, and I even let me check the standings here. This pretty much all but secures your level, your rank 1 going into the playoffs here, if I'm adding things up correctly.
Sounds about right. We got to we have to
You go to
face
21. Yeah, Avalanche can go to 21 if they ace twice, I think.
Avalanche is pretty strong. I wouldn't put it past them.
So it's possible, but you're definitely looking, 1-2 at the very least there. But looking forward to the playoffs, are there any teams that you're looking forward to facing once again? Any teams that you're hoping to avoid in the early rounds of the playoffs?
Well, we like to fight just about as much as we like to macro, I guess, by the nature of our heavy slaps name. So really looking forward to getting back into Banshee and Avalanche. They seem to have really hit their stride, and business affairs aren't to be messed with either. So I'm really looking forward to those three.
Excellent, excellent. Good rivalries going on in the division. Love to see it.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah, it's a good crew. Happy to be casted by the head caster, no less.
my pleasure entirely. I don't know what it is about C's this season. I'm putting together these reports. I'm like, why are there so many C East teams this low on the cast count? But I was able to pick up a few this week, so I'm happy to be able to showcase the division a little bit. It's looking pretty good going into the playoffs here.
Yeah, much appreciated. I think we have Bankai next week too. So much talent. Looking forward
Cool.
to it.
Excellent, excellent. Well, congratulations on the 2-1 victory. The floor is yours. Any final shout-outs you'd like to make before we close out here?
Yeah, absolutely. Shout outs to my team, uh, all of you guys, all the subs. Shout outs to our two coaches for continuously getting us into ship shape. All the volunteers for NGS for keeping esports going better than ever. And shout outs to our sponsor, Whipple Sports Drink. And yeah, that does it for us. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Congratulations once again, and good luck going into the final week and going into the playoffs.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Have a good evening.